So I don't know about you, but during lockdown, I think we're all in need of some hugely joyful, positive reading. And I think I've definitely found that with Anna Mainwaring. So earlier on in lockdown, I read Tulip Taylor, the story of the makeup vlogger who sort of goes on the reality TV in the jungle show. Love that book. And now I've just finished Rebel with a Cupcake. Now, I just want to start with the cover. I mean, it is a beautiful book. And I think if you've got a teenage girl in your life, a friend or a relative, this is a fantastic present because it just looks so beautiful. I got my copy from Firefly and I got a signed copy, which I think is really lush as well. So it just looks great. But onto what is within the story. Now, I just had so much fun reading this book, and I just, I really feel like at the moment we don't want anything heavy, we don't want anything depressing, and this does the job. This is a young adult contemporary kind of rom-com about a girl called Jezebel, or Jess for short, and it's really about her struggling with her weight, not really because she struggles with it, but because other people do, and because of the immense pressure on her as a teenage girl of what she's meant to look like. And I just feel like women everywhere will be able to relate to this character. Whether you feel like weight is an issue for you or not, I feel like we all struggle with the pressure to look a certain way, and then the judgment of other people on us about how we feel about that. So what I love about the story is that you've got the heroine who is going through this situation of being bigger than is expected of her and what she does about that. But then you've also got other characters like her sister who are struggling with an eating disorder because of this constant pressure to achieve and to be perfect. So I really like the way that Anna Mainwaring has given us characters in this book on both sides of the spectrum. The protagonist is really happy with food. She loves food. She loves the way she looks. But that's brought into question by some mean comments at school in a video that goes viral. And it's after that she tries to lose weight. And what's really great about this is that it shows all of the follies of, all the silly things that we do to try and lose weight. It kind of exposes that it's not for a great reason. What we really need is to embrace who we are, and not to be unhealthy in our relationship to food, but to not have this ridiculous mindset of an unattainable lifestyle that is also unhealthy in the pursuit of thinness. The big theme for me in the book was that thinness doesn't equal happiness. And I just think that is really refreshing, because how often is it that we do get characters who are plus sized? How often is it that we see people enjoying who they are without feeling the need to conform to society's expectations? So I think this is a really positive book for girls to read. Ultimately, when you read this book, you go through the journey with the main character, through her journey of bad dieting and coming out of the other side. What you end up with is a massively body positive message, and also a message about enjoying food. And I just think that is so healthy for teenage girls to be reading right now. But during lockdown, I think we've all been super conscious of maybe we're eating more, maybe we're not getting out as much, and so this could be a really timely read for a lot of us to remember to give ourselves a break and not be unrealistic about expectations for our own weight and our own relationship with food. I love the voice of the character, and I think this is what has come across in lots of the reviews I've read. The voice of Jess is so vivid and funny. Each chapter begins with really witty observations on life in general, and I think I've read reviews where people have said, I'd love to see more from Jess, I'd love to see more books. So there's just a huge love for this main character, and the voice really leaps off the page at you, and it is laugh out loud funny. What I'd also say I really loved about this book was the family relationships and the family dynamic of Jess with her mum, her dad, her sisters and her gran all in the same house together. I loved that. I felt like it was really well drawn, and I think it was really interesting to sort of see the kind of issues that her parents had under the surface and why that caused them to act the way they did, and the way that the impact that had on the different siblings, and her younger sister is so cute. So it's just a lovely portrait of friendship, family, being a teenage girl, and coping with all of these different messages you get about what you're supposed to look like and how you're supposed to feel about that.
If you love reading YA novels and you want to hear more of my vlog reviews, please hit subscribe and then you won't miss out.